While we're at it, we may as well. Yeah, this is a little a battlefield robotic thing that creeps around.
Creepy crawler.
And it locates by ultrasound. It looks for a target by ultrasound, and when it finds something, it has a thermal sensor. And when that thermal sensor, gets a feedback of heat, it just opens fire. This is should be so sobering to all of us. There is a factor of such immorality in all of this that, if this doesn't start set you thinking, oh, and here's the page.
And here's the page. If you just look for military robot guns, you'll see and look on images from Google, you'll see all sorts of just terrible, hideous machines that the military is developing or has developed or hopes to develop. And these things are just, just human killers. They're just,
yeah.
And if you can imagine, if you have like a huge military of drones or these robots, yeah, you could just set up our military, our soldiers, and then whoever controls all these drones would rule the world.
Absolutely.
They could just, any mad scientist, any evil banker would just, send out the drones to whoever, opposes them,
exactly,
whether they're in the air or on the ground, and you're not going to out maneuver. You're not going to outdraw a bot,
yeah,
some kind of thing.
Yeah.
It would fire faster, more accurate. It'd
Right.
have heavier guns
Yeah.
than you. It'd have more armor than you. It wouldn't be nice.
No, it wouldn't. And we also need to realize that these things, that drones are already flying in American airspace right now. And as of 2015, our wonderful, again, bought out Congress has decided to pass a law to open American airspace completely to the use of drones by, I guess, pretty much whoever wants to use them. Because, they say, oh, they have these commercial applications, protect, you can survey with them, you can do this, you can do that, you can check on your land and properties and this, that, and the other. But, if you use a small amount of your rat brain, it doesn't even take that little rat brain to know that just like with all of these other techno businesses, that the main point is surveillance. And
actually, on that note, I'd like to mention just one thing. Our military takes an oath to the Constitution.
Right.
Our government is founded on the Constitution and is the ultimate law. And anybody that disobeys that law or violates that law is a criminal, whether it's the president,
right,
a congressperson, or the military,
yeah,
or CIA.
Yeah.
Now, here's the Fourth Amendment. I'm just going to read part of it. You can look at this online if you want. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. No warrants shall issue. But upon probable cause, that means probable cause of a crime, like you
Sure.
have very good reason that you've actually committed a crime, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. So they have to think for good reason that there's a crime being committed by an individual, and they say, we need to search for this thing or these things. They can't just globally just start searching through, whether even if it's Facebook or your computer files or your cell phone or your phone records or tap your phones. That is illegal, and I don't care who does it.
Yeah, well, it is illegal if you accept the law. But again, obviously our government, our military has decided that they're above the law.
We've lost control of our government.
We've lost control of the government. And again, like I said earlier, it's fairly well accepted. You don't have to go very far to find this out, that we are moving or almost moved to a world government. The allegiance is no longer to the nation state or to the rules and regulations set out by the nation state, but of the new world order. I mean, people have made a mockery of that for many years, but you do not have to go very far to research to know it's absolutely real. It's absolutely coming down. Last couple of programs we talked about Agenda 21, the first, mandate, world mandate out of the United Nations. That's literally where you get annoyed with the bulb outs and the street narrowings and the this, that, and the. That's Agenda 21. That is a world doctrine, a world mandate that you have no say in. The world government is not a democracy. It's like what they say is what you do.
So around Santa Barbara, you see those corners that have been expanded out into the road or into the bike lanes, and you ask yourself, where did those come from?
Exactly.
Did you vote for it? Did I vote for it?
No.
Where did it come from?
No.
It came from Agenda 21.
And this is the stuff they will fund. They won't fund the things that the people really need. They fund the reconstruction, the reconfiguration of the world the way the New World Order has it set out. It's a resource-limited environment. It is like pack all those people up in the cities, build up, not out, get them off the land. But that's another story.
And these people will, the people and the governments who are betraying us will talk about this stuff openly and freely as if it's great and fun.
Yeah.
And they are ultimate deceivers. For example, David H. Betrayus, which is very aptly named phonetically in the last name, at a In-Q-Tel summit, which is one of the corporations that started Google, that funded Google.
Oh, yeah.
These people are now in bed with the CIA. And on March 1st, 2012, you can see this on the CIA.gov website. He was talking about within our, creative sciences, our operative trait. This is a quote. The operative trait is if I can talk correctly. He didn't actually say that. Quote, the operative trait is diabolical creativity, unquote. And he says also, this is another quote, indeed, I found that our technical capabilities often far exceed what you see in Tom Cruise films. In the digital world, these are direct quotes, data is everywhere. Data is created constantly, often unknowingly and without permission. Every byte left behind reveals information about location, habits, and by extrapolation, intent and probable behavior.
Yeah.
They are spying on us. They are telling us.
Yeah. Oh, sure. I mean, if you can't glean it for yourself, with some concept of history and knowing what these, power does, take it from the horse's mouth right there.
And it's all illegal, exactly what he's talking about right here.
Yeah.
100% illegal. The guy should be arrested immediately.
Sure. Yeah. But again, like we said, it's just like the laws are who will enforce the laws. That's how good a law is. You might just want to go back to a few years ago when there was this big brouhaha that some guy at AT&T found a secret room. And come to find out, NSA had established, we're coming in here, we're going to have this secret room, and we're going to tell you what, none of you guys can come in, and so there. But, that sort of hit the fan, but they're still doing it. I mean, they're monitoring everything. All of your phone calls, your computer use, your tweets, your everything, they are known. They are recorded. And an interesting thing, too, found a little documentary where Michio Kaku is talking about how cheap and pervasive computer chips will be in the future, that by 2020 they will be so cheap, so small, they will be like pieces of paper. So like you could this thing that makes your phone run, that makes you just throw it away. We just got lots of those, and that they will be so small. This will leading you into the nanotechnology. Again, we don't have time to get through all of this stuff. That they can put them into everything. everything. You think information gleaning is pervasive now? Wait till they get these little nanochips into your clothes, into your furniture, into your walls.
And does smart meters sound familiar to you?
Oh,
people?
thank you.
Well, this is a very cool effect. I like this. Anyway, here's another quote from David Petraeus. Items of interest will be located, on that note, items of interest will be located, identified, monitored, and remotely controlled through technologies such as radio frequency identification, sensor networks, tiny embedded servers, and energy harvesters. So the CIA is saying that, and he also talks about we're just going to work with private corporations. We have been, and they're part of our best avenue for all this creative diabolical creativity. So these things can be everywhere, and it's just like, that's what their plan is. Because if the government gets out of control, who is the only thing what's the only thing that can really control it is the people themselves. And if they monitor all the people, how can the people actually step up or feel like they have? This is a huge chilling effect. Just like the Stasi, like Nazi Germany, East Germany, Soviet, Russian, these places have a bedrock of spying on their citizens, and it has created a chilling effect to stop, to allow the government to run rampant and not have and disempower the people.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and thanks for bringing up the connection with the corporate, the military corporate congressional tangle there, in that. One of the ways the military gets a lot of their stuff in is like through corporations, because the corporations are building a lot of these things like the RFID chipping and the drone business. And so you have to ask yourself, why would our representatives come up with these laws they know nothing about? They know nothing about RFID chipping, but they come up and they present these bills and push them through about all of this high-tech stuff. It's because they're lobbied to the hilt. They pull these things in not on behalf of the people that they're supposed to represent, but on behalf of the corporations and the military and the elite power that we know not, see not, but they control everything. Again, we don't know them, but they know everything about us. And this is the most dangerous thing for a democracy, for a free people that could ever hit the fan. It's such an incredible tragedy that so much of this fantastic technology is being used to basically imprison us instead of to truly enrich us the way it could. And so if you think of any last words, one thing I would like to say again is that I was wringing my hands going, oh, we'll never get to all of this information, and I was absolutely right. For once I was right about something. That there is so much information in the high-tech arena. I mean, we didn't get to genetics, GMOs, nanotechnology, really just barely touched on what RFID chipping is.
And we've got to keep in mind that who are we enabling to do what?
Exactly. So we'll continue this, and want to thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again. Thanks a lot.